Tim, a video game developer, is having an intense work meeting from home when the internet suddenly cuts out. During his short breaks, he thinks about the good times he had with his wife, Olivia. He also remembers the painful memory of her pregnancy when she had to be taken to the hospital due to some problems. Out of nowhere, Olivia walks in and surprises him. They head downstairs and meet Mr. Friedman, the building manager. He tells them the renovation work is almost done, and the outer cover will be taken down soon. Just then, a helicopter flies over. Mr. Friedman says there's a big fire going on in the harbor area. After saying goodbye to him, Olivia asks Tim if he wants to grab pizza. They get some, and Olivia takes him to their old car, which just got fixed. While eating in the car, Olivia brings up an old dream. They had always wanted to drive to Paris. She tells him she quit her job because she feels they both need a fresh start after everything they've been through. But Tim says he can't just leave his job, even though he wants to go too, just not now. Then he gets a work call and starts talking, ignoring Olivia. That night, they both lie in bed, awake and quiet. Olivia starts crying. The next morning, Tim wakes up to find Olivia packed and ready to leave. She tells him he's never going to change, so she's leaving. But when she tries to open the door, it won't budge. A strange, high-tech-looking brick wall is blocking it. Olivia accuses Tim of locking her in, but he goes to check it out too. When she looks at the window, she sees the same brick covering it. They check every window. They're all sealed. Olivia tries to smash through but can't, and tells Tim to help her. He tries too and shouts for help, but no one answers. She tries calling, but her phone has no service. Tim checks the Wi-Fi. Nothing works. No signal at all. He also notices the phone acts weird when it's close to the brick wall. Olivia brings out a drill and tries to break through, but it doesn't even leave a scratch. Tim joins her, but it's no use. They try other spots in the house, but it's the same thing. Just brick behind the walls. They can't understand how the entire building could be sealed off like this. Suddenly, they hear voices and screams coming from the next room. They make a small hole in the wall and peek through. They see a man and a woman who say they just rented the place for the night, and now they're trapped too. The man is very nervous and wants answers. He asks Tim and Olivia if the same thing is happening to them. They say yes. The man starts panicking, so the woman tells him to take a drink and calm down. Olivia asks if they saw anything strange at night. The woman says no. They just woke up and found the house this way. She gets scared, so Olivia tries to calm her. Then Tim notices there's no water from the tap. They decide to store all the supplies they can find. Tim, thinking like a game developer, says this feels like a level in a video game. Maybe they have to figure out how to escape. Olivia, already frustrated, tells him his job is pointless. This leads to a heated argument between them, bringing back all the issues they haven't dealt with. After Olivia leaves the room, Tim gets upset and throws his phone at the brick wall. While sitting there, he notices something unusual on the brick. He walks over and sees that it's a small chip from the broken phone. He realizes the wall is acting like a magnet. Olivia returns and says sorry for their fight. Tim picks up a spoon and shows her how the wall pulls metal toward it. They start testing it with more metal items, placing them on the wall. Olivia notices that the pull is strongest in certain square spots. She sticks the metals on those squares. But suddenly, the metal starts shaking, and all the pieces fly off the wall and shoot back toward them. Tim quickly gets down and pulls Olivia with him. In the chaos, the sharp pieces of metal cut Tim. Olivia carefully removes them from his body and wraps up his wounds. As they sit together recovering, they suddenly hear the woman from next door screaming again. They run to the wall and call out, but no one answers. So they decide to break a bigger hole and go into the next apartment. Tim grabs a baseball bat, and Olivia takes a can of pepper spray. Inside, they search the room and find the woman lying on the floor next to the bed. Olivia helps her while Tim looks for the man. Suddenly, the man jumps out and knocks Tim to the ground. Olivia rushes in and sprays the man with pepper spray. Tim gets up and is about to hit him, but the woman stops him. She explains the man didn't hurt her. She got hurt trying to break the wall. She says he would never hurt her. They had just taken too many drugs the night before. Tim ties the man's hands just for a while until the effects wear off. The woman introduces herself as Anna, and the man is Marvin. Tim checks around their apartment and finds a locked storage room. He breaks it open and finds a large hammer. He tries to use it to smash through the brick-covered door. But Marvin, now more awake, warns him not to. It will only ruin the hammer. Tim asks Marvin why he attacked him, but Marvin is confused. Then Anna tells him everything, and he's surprised. She reminds him he shouldn't use so many drugs. Olivia, who is an architect, comes up with a new idea. She tells them that the building was built during wartime, and it should have an old bomb shelter in the basement. Some of these shelters were built to connect to the subway system. Maybe they can escape through there. They all start breaking the floor to get down. Marvin thinks someone is playing with them and says maybe the building manager, Mr. Friedman, is behind all of this. After breaking the floor open, Tim climbs down and calls out to their neighbor, Mr. Oswald. But Oswald shows up holding a gun. He tells Tim to go back upstairs. He doesn't want to share his supplies with anyone. Olivia and the others beg him for help and explain their escape plan, but he still refuses. Just then, his granddaughter Leah comes in and tells him they should help each other. She says working together is the only way they'll get out. After thinking it over, Oswald finally agrees to help. Everyone climbs down into the lower floor. Tim unties Marvin and gives him the hammer, saying the physical work might help his body detox. Meanwhile, Olivia starts talking to Leah, who is trying to message her girlfriend after they had a fight. Leah tells Olivia that she woke up around 4 a.m. to use the bathroom. When she returned, the whole apartment was already sealed up with strange bricks. While they talk, Tim spots a detector on the wall and decides to open it. Inside, he finds a small hidden camera. He asks Mr. Oswald if he installed it, but Oswald says no. All the detectors were placed there by Mr. Friedman, the building manager. Curious, Tim goes to another room and opens another detector. That one also has a camera inside. Marvin gets angry and says it feels like they're part of some twisted game, like Squid Game, and someone is spying on them. He suspects Mr. Friedman is the one behind it all. Olivia suggests they confront Mr. Friedman since he lives next door. They break through the wall into his apartment, but what they find shocks them. Mr. Friedman is dead, and both his hands are missing. Marvin feels sick and runs to the bathroom with Anna following him. Olivia starts panicking and struggles to breathe. Tim tries to calm her down, but she runs out of the room. He then checks Mr. Friedman's phone and finds some photos of the brick wall saved on it. Everyone is shaken, but they return to breaking through the floor. Olivia shows Tim a news article about the big fire earlier and wonders if it's all connected. Suddenly, the floor gives in with a loud crash, and Tim, Marvin, and Anna fall through to the next level. Olivia quickly follows to help Tim up. Marvin and Anna also get to their feet. Leah gets ready to go down too, but Mr. Oswald hands her a gun and tells her he should go alone. Leah insists and convinces him to come along. When they all reach the lower level, a man greets them and compliments their dramatic entrance. He says his name is Yuri and claims to be a friend of Anton, who lives in the building. Yuri explains he came to visit Anton for a few days. He seems curious and asks why they were breaking the floor. They explain their plan to escape through an old tunnel, but Yuri just laughs and says the brick wall is actually meant to protect them. He claims it's an advanced security system designed to defend against any attack. Tim asks for proof, but Yuri doesn't have any. Instead, he starts sharing his own wild ideas, talking about things like secret governments and global conspiracies. Olivia asks him directly, "Where is Anton?" Yuri then points to Anton's body on a couch and says he died suddenly, probably from a heart problem. He had been studying the bricks. They all give their respects. They start arguing again. Some think it's too dangerous to go outside, while others believe they need to take their chances. Marvin, Anna, and Olivia decide they'd rather risk it than stay locked up. Leah stays behind to look through Anton's research. Yuri says it's not the wall itself that kills people. It's the fear and stress that gets to them. Then he grabs Anton's papers for himself. Leah soon joins the others. They break through more floor panels and reach the basement. They search for the old tunnel and find it behind a door. But when they finally open it, they are shocked. The tunnel is blocked by the same strange brick. Marvin loses control. He grabs the hammer and begins smashing the wall in frustration. Tim tries to stop him, but Mr. Oswald suddenly points the gun at Tim to keep him back. After a few seconds, Marvin calms down and says he's okay now, but then suddenly snatches the gun from Oswald and fires several shots at the wall. The bullets stop right before hitting the bricks, then start shaking. Tim yells for everyone to get down. The bullets suddenly shoot back at high speed. Most of the group avoids them, but Mr. Oswald doesn't move fast enough, and one of the bullets hits him. Leah runs over to Mr. Oswald and calls for help. The others hurry to assist, but when Marvin steps forward, she suddenly yells at him not to come closer. Mr. Oswald dies there on the floor. Later, the group sits in Anton's room, feeling tired and hopeless. Anna breaks the silence and asks if any of them have gone through something painful in the past, something that could somehow connect them. She shares that she almost died as a child. Leah says she watched her mother pass away from cancer. Yuri admits that he once killed someone back when he was a police officer. Leah adds that everyone already knows about Marvin. Marvin quietly apologizes again, but Leah shouts at him, unable to forgive. They then ask Tim and Olivia if there's something they've been through. Tim tries to stop Olivia from saying anything, but she speaks anyway. She tells them that she and Tim lost a child during a miscarriage. Tim gets up and walks into another room. Olivia follows, and the two of them begin arguing again. Olivia tells him that ever since the miscarriage, he buried himself in work and never talked about what happened. She says she had to carry the pain alone. Tim listens, tries to stay calm, and eventually walks back to the others. He tells the group they can't just sit and do nothing. He says they should search Mr. Friedman's room for any kind of clue. Leah agrees, and also suggests they look through Anton's research in case he figured something out. They all decide to split up. Tim, Marvin, and Anna go to search Friedman's place. Olivia and Leah stay behind to go through Anton's work. Yuri says he's not interested and does not join either group. While checking Friedman's place, Tim notices something odd. The size of the room is smaller than the floor above. That makes him suspicious. He taps on the wall and guesses there's a hidden space. Meanwhile, Marvin finds a hidden remote switch. Tim looks at it and says they'll need powder, so they dust it with flour. Soon they see 4 fingerprints. That means the password is a combination of those 4 digits. There are 24 possible combinations. Anna says she's going to call the others. In Anton's room, Leah and Olivia find his old business card. It says he worked at a company called Epsilon Nano Defense. When they ask Yuri about it, he says Anton never talked about his job. All he knows is that Anton was a programmer. They keep searching and come across Anton's broken laptop and phone. Yuri says Anton always smashed things when he felt stuck or frustrated. They also find a paper with strange code on it. Leah thinks it could be a program that opens the wall. Yuri laughs and says the moment they open the wall, they'll all die from radiation. Anna then arrives and tells them that something important was found. Olivia and Yuri go with her while Leah stays to keep looking. Tim continues trying the code on the panel and eventually cracks it. The secret door opens, and they walk into a hidden room. Inside, they find computers showing live camera footage from everyone's apartments. The others arrive and are shocked to see it. Anna quickly tells Tim to delete the private moments. Then they check the video from Tim and Olivia's room. They scroll back to the moment when the bricks started appearing. They slow it down and see how the bricks formed around the building using some kind of futuristic nanotechnology. Back in Anton's room, Leah takes a closer look at his body. She removes the scarf around his neck and finds clear marks showing he was choked. In the hidden room, the group checks the footage from Anton's room. They see Anton lying on the floor, already dead. Just as they begin to question what really happened to him, they realize that Yuri is no longer with them. Marvin decides to look for him. Meanwhile, Tim and the others go back to the security footage. They find a clip of Anton with his phone, standing close to the brick wall. There are flashes of light. He seems to have figured out how to open the wall. Then they find something even worse. Footage of Yuri attacking Anton and choking him. At the same time, Marvin enters Yuri's room and finds him burning all of Anton's notes and research. Marvin then sees Leah lying on the floor near the bed, not moving. He screams at Yuri, asking what he's done, but Yuri says he's only trying to protect everyone. Just then, Tim runs in with a gun and finds Yuri strangling Marvin. Yuri then jumps at Tim and starts to choke him too. Marvin quickly gets up and punches Yuri. Together, they manage to pin him down. Just then, the others arrive and yell at them not to shoot. They remind Tim that Yuri might still know how to open the wall. Tim listens and knocks Yuri unconscious. Then they tie him tightly to a chair. Olivia sits quietly, feeling upset and blaming herself for what happened to Leah. Tim gently tells her it's not her fault. Anna speaks up, saying maybe Yuri killed Anton because he discovered the way out. They go through the burned papers and try to read the codes left behind. Leah starts checking the security footage again. From the pieces of the burned page, they notice the writing looks like a kind of sequence, maybe Morse code. Olivia pulls out Anton's business card. Tim reads the address and realizes that Anton worked at Epsilon Nano Defense, the same area where the big fire recently happened. They wake up Yuri again and demand answers. Tim asks how Anton was able to open the brick wall. Yuri refuses to explain and only repeats that the outside world is contaminated and it's safer inside. Tim fires a warning shot into the wall beside him and demands to know the truth. Did Epsilon build this wall, and why? Yuri finally says he only knows the wall system was designed to protect people from major threats. It was a high-tech defense mechanism. Olivia asks, if everything outside is poisoned, then why did Anton want to leave? Yuri admits that Anton believed the wall system had glitched or malfunctioned because of the fire. Then Anna comes in with new information. Anton had been doing something on his laptop before he died. Tim looks at it and realizes that Anton had created a custom app. It was likely made to unlock the wall. They review the footage again and see the moment Yuri smashed Anton's laptop and phone. They grab the broken phone and connect it to Tim's computer. Working together, they figure out that the phone was used as a kind of key. The squares on the wall must be digital locks. Anton had used his phone's flashlight, an electromagnetic signal, to open the brick door. Tim starts reverse engineering the app, rebuilding what Anton had coded. Once it's ready, they go to the wall and launch the app. The app lights up and shows the wall as a grid of squares, like buttons. Tim taps one. The phone flashes. Then the wall begins to shift. It starts glowing and changing. Anna, full of curiosity, reaches out and touches it. She turns back to the group and says she feels warm. Marvin, who was keeping an eye on Yuri, runs in and sees her. He yells for her to pull her hand back, but Anna says she can't. Something is pulling her in. The others rush forward to help, but Anna is slowly being pulled further into the glowing wall. Suddenly, the wall begins to close around her. As the glowing wall shuts, everyone falls back. Marvin drops to his knees, horrified. He's crushed by the sight of Anna's lifeless body. In the corner, Yuri starts laughing. Overwhelmed by rage and grief, Marvin turns around and shoots Yuri without thinking. Then, without warning, he turns the gun on himself and pulls the trigger. Tim and Olivia sit on the cold floor, exhausted and shocked. Olivia feels hopeless. She quietly tells Tim that when they lost their baby, she was broken. She needed him, but he disappeared into his work. Tim, with tears in his eyes, says he knows, and thanks her for never leaving him. She gently replies, because I love you. The moment brings them closer. They hug. They reopen Anton's app and start pressing buttons on the screen again. This time, they notice that each square flashes a different number of times. 6, 4, 1, 2. They go back to the camera footage and carefully study Anton's actions. From the flashing pattern, they figure out the exact order he used to open the wall. They head back to the basement, but suddenly, Yuri, badly injured but still alive, attacks Tim from behind. Olivia gets knocked backward and falls into the basement. Tim grabs a nearby object and strikes Yuri. He then jumps down into the basement to help Olivia. Together, they run toward the sealed wall, but Yuri chases them, not giving up. As Tim and Olivia try to close the wall behind them, Yuri pushes back with all his strength. Olivia holds up the phone while Tim tries to hold Yuri off. Olivia quickly unlocks the wall again. The opening appears, but before they can escape, Yuri forces his way through. He grabs Tim and the two struggle violently. Yuri pins Tim down and tries to stab him. Go! Tim yells to Olivia, but instead of running, Olivia grabs a hammer and strikes Yuri with all her strength. Tim and Olivia waste no time. They rush into the tunnel and run toward the exit. They finally make it outside. To their shock, the entire neighborhood is covered in the same strange bricks. Together, they drive away. On the car radio, a news alert plays. A state of emergency has been declared. A massive fire at Epsilon Nanotech Industries has triggered an unknown security system. Sources suggest the release of a secret defense program, one that was never made public. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to help the channel out. See you in the next one.